a beauty. Sorry for not giving you the usual welcome. Welcome along to the Gobby Gaffer here at RCLENS. And I thought I just had to, I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of it. If you remember the end of last season, we were 40 million in the red in the bank. And the financial situation was getting a little bit dire. And as you can see now, we're actually 40 million to the good in the bank. What? How did I do it? Well, I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so you're all looking there at the transfer out column, 102 million. So how did we do that? Well, the backstory is at the end of the transfer window, more or less like a day and a half before, Liverpool came in and Jean-Marc Cavalan, our star striker, they offered 39 million for him. And I thought, okay, that would wipe our bank balance out overnight, but, or the deficit, I should say. But I thought he's worth more than that. So I rejected it. He came knocking on my door. Boss, very unhappy. Want to go to Liverpool. It's the next step in my career. Fine. You know, absolutely. I'm not going to stand in your way, but we want more money for you. So we had a bit of a haggle. Came up with 59 million. Another 20 million on top. So in my head, I'm thinking we won't get 59 million for him, but I decided to put feelers out there. Let's see if anybody wants to buy him. And eventually, we got down to 49 million. And actually, we managed to sell him for that amount of money. And who bought him? Yes, it was Villarreal. So he's gone to Spain. And 49 million on the nose, no payments or anything. Wiped our bank balance out. I keep saying bank balance. It's wiped the deficit out and give us a nice, healthy amount of money in there. It was a lot more than that, actually. I mean, I think we're looking at about 39 million now. But obviously, I've had to go out. I did want another centre-back, but I needed a striker desperately. I had about a day to do it. And so what did I do? So welcome to RCLENS, Marco Polo Carranza, 21-year-old Mexican striker. That was a slight doubt in my mind because Cavalan, obviously a French player and the European rules, all of that kind of thing. But I think we've managed to work it in. I think it's all working fine with the European rules and everything. So a 21-year-old striker, if you look at his stats, he likes playing a deep line forward, but he can also play advanced forward. And he has actually played. I'm still a little bit unsure about where he is going to fit in at the moment. But the weird thing about it is that apparently I had him at SC Cambuur and I can't remember it for the life of me. If we just go back into his history, he was at SC Cambuur in the 2030-31 season. He was on loan. So if you notice there, he's come from Manchester City. Manchester City paid a Cruz Azul 10 million for him. And we took him on loan. And it was actually in the season where we actually won the division. He only played, if we have a look at the so that season there, he only played 11 times, scored 2 goals with a rating of 6.80. But now, you know, he was only a young lad then. You know, we're now 4 seasons on from that. So hopefully, you know, he's going to start banging some goals in for us. But he's been around the block a little bit, and then obviously he's ended up with us. And the good thing about this deal is it's a loan deal, but with it's a permanent sale at the end of it for 10.5 million. Now, selling a striker for 49 million and bringing one in for 10.5 million, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, he has to hit the ground running and start scoring goals. But we have got Carvalho, who knows where the goals are. And the lad we've got in loan from Chelsea, he's banging a few in as well. So, you know, we have got a little bit of a time for him to settle in. I'm not quite sure if I did. I think I did tell you about another centre-back I was trying to bring in. But anyway, this lad did actually arrive. So it's Siniša Dordic, a Croatian 26-year-old centre-back. Again, very, very good stats. Ball-playing defender. So he's played quite a few games for us. Spoiler, I've played quite a lot of football since you were last with me. But I had to start, you know, with the European qualifying games and all of that malarkey. I had to start getting a few games under my belt. But anyway, so he's a fairly regular starter for us now. But also, I went into the loan market and assigned Flavien Chevalier. He's French, obviously. He's come in 20-year-old on loan for the rest of the season, and we did need some cover at centre-back. So, you know, obviously he's not going to be a starter, but certainly can come on and do a decent job for us. So all of that is quite exciting news, and obviously Carranza has to start, you know, banging the goals in for us and be as fair, you know, as regular as Catalan was in striker position. He has to do that for us now on a regular basis. But, you know, he's a Mexican. He doesn't speak the language. It might take him 12 months to settle in. I mean, hopefully not, but I think we've got one for the future there. And already his value has doubled. He's now worth 22 million, but I'm guessing that's all to do with the fact that he's on loan. He's not really proved himself in this division yet. I think if he starts banging a few goals in, we could be looking at another 40, 50 million pound player there. Anyway, I know you're all chomping at the bit. You want to see how we've been doing. Well, let me tell you, league form has not been great. Champions League, we're doing okay in. We seem to be up for the Champions League game. League form, not so great. Let's have a quick look. So I did say we'd played quite a lot of football, and we have. So the last game that you saw was the Champions League playoff that we beat Rapid Vienna. We beat them 2-1. So after that, we had a league game. We just about scraped that 2-1. It was a little bit squeaky bum time in that one, and that's been what it's what it's been like in the league. But then in the next playoff draw, we actually drew PSV, another playoff game before. This is the curse of that fourth position. You have to play 2 playoff games. It's both 2-legged, so it's 4 games before you can even actually get into the league. So we drew PSV from Holland. We know PSV of old from our SC Cambuur days. But anyway, we played them at home. We just about sneaked a 1-0 win in that. We scored in the 10th minute, but Sands, the on-loan striker, he got us underway in that one. But then we managed to hold on for a 1-0. A little bit fearful for the second leg. But anyway, game after that, we played Monaco. Now then, I've created a new saying. We all know about Fergie time, don't we? It's a well-known saying in football. Well, I've coined a new one now. It's Monaco time. So Monaco last season, if you remember, they did us in time added on. I think it was were we winning in that game or we were drawing? We were doing okay, and then it's something like the 91st and 92nd minute, they scored 2 goals and beat us. So this season I thought, right, that's not happening again. So I set up a slightly different tactic. I set us up a little bit more secure at the back, and we actually were winning 2-1. And we were playing really well. Monaco, okay, they got the goal, but they weren't really at the races. And it went into like the 91st minute, and I thought, right, we've got this. But no, the AI decided we were going to have loads of highlights in, you know, the 3 or 4 minutes, and there were loads of highlights. And sure enough, even though I thought, right, this time, pause the game, let's go in, let's drop the lines, let's make us more defensive, let's change positioning, let's put on time waste. I did everything I could think of, which I didn't do last time. I kind of kept us on the same mentality last time. I thought, right, my mistake, oh, my hands up. This time I changed it all completely. And sure enough, in Monaco time, they scored 2 goals. Absolutely gutted. Absolutely gutted. Let me tell you, nearly threw the computer through the window. We got beat 3-2. So not ideal. Anyway, so we played PSV in the return leg in the Champions League playoff away from home, and we got a nice 2-2 draw in that one. You know, obviously overall we won the tie, which was great, but again it was a little bit too close for comfort. So then we came back and played Bordeaux away in the league. A little bit squeaky bum time again. Catalan's digging us out of a little bit of a hole there. He scored 2 against PSV. He scored the winner against Bordeaux, but it was a very tight 1-0 in that one. A couple of friendlies in there, and then we played Lille. 0-0 at home. Never a great result, that is it. You're throwing points away at home is never good, really. So 0-0 draw, not great. But we went into the Champions League stage. So there was, I think there's probably 3 or 4 teams in there that we can beat. We have got Manchester United. I think we're not Manchester United. We've got Manchester City, Not quite sure who else we've got in there. Benfica, Chelsea, Juventus. We've got some really tough games in there. But the team that we played, Slovan Liberec, in the first game at home was one of the ones I had penciled in. Yep, that's 3 points. That's 2.4 million. And sure enough, we did it. We won that game 2-0. Great result, and 2.4 million in the bank. We'd already had 12 million in the bank, and this is where all the money build-up is coming from. You know, 49 for Catalan, 12 million up front for the Champions League, plus 2.4 here. And then, as you can see, we also played FC it's Copenhagen, isn't it? We played them, beat them 3-0. So we've actually gained about 5 million on top of the 12 for competing. Jumping ahead a little bit there. So after the Slovan Liberec game, we then played Marseille, and again, like I say, league form not great. 2-2 in that one. You know, league form is a little bit stuttery. Then we played Saint Etienne at home, and we scraped to 1-0 in that one. Carvalho again, saving our blushes, scored in the 15th minute. Then we played our old rivals, and we never seemed to do well against Rennes. And then again in this game, we weren't really at the races. Got beat 2-0. Another league game where we failed to turn up. And then, like I say, we played Copenhagen, beat them 3-0 away from home. So we've actually got... we've got 6 points out of 2 games in the Champions League. I think we're up near the top somewhere. Doesn't really make any difference because we ain't going to beat City, Juventus and Chelsea, are we? So, Benfica. But anyway, so that's where we're up to at the moment. The league table is looking like this. So we're in 5th position at the moment with 14 points. PSG this season, if you look at the goal difference of 25, they're beating everybody like 5-0. They're just on fire. So they played 8 games, won them all, beating everybody just by ridiculous scorelines. So again, it's going to be PSG's season. But if you notice, Rennes are up there again. Rennes are becoming one of those teams that, you know, with Monaco, that you've got to beat if you're going to get up near the top. And I think it is going to be quite difficult this season unless we start getting these players bedded in and we start doing the business on the pitch. League form, I think, could be our undoing this season. But anyway, we'll have to see how it goes. So anyway, back to the schedule. So I think I'm going to play the Nice game off camera, and then we'll come back for the Troyes game at home, and then we're going to play Dinamo Zagreb back in the Champions League again, and that's another away game. But a couple of nice games today, interesting games, Troyes and Dinamo Zagreb. So we'll see you very shortly in the dugout for the Troyes game. Well, welcome to Troyes for this game against, Troyes. The league game that we just played against Nice should have been quite comfortable, actually. Carranza, our new striker, got us underway, 1-0. They did equalise, but our attacking midfield player, Bongatoué, he actually scored 2 goals, 2 nice goals, got us 3-1 in the lead. But as seems to be the way with the FM at the moment, the time added on seems to be longer and longer each game. So you look really comfortable in a game, and then all of a sudden there's loads of highlights, and it's all the opposition attacking. And, you know, as is the way, Nice actually got a second goal, but we did hang on and we got a 3-2 out of it. So a little bit squeaky bum, but we did get the 3 points, very nice. We need another 3 points out of this game now, because everybody at the top, Rennes are still winning, PSG have just battered somebody else. So everybody is winning above us, and we need to keep winning games to try and get that European position again. Anyway, so the team for today is Ibrahim in goal, back 4 of Heskey, Argiolas, Dordic, Marino. Perone is the defensive midfield player. Scarlata, Arbeloa, the 2 in the centre. We've got Bongatoué is the attacking midfielder, with Carranza and Carvalho up top. So we're underway, 5 minutes on the clock. Not an awful lot happening at the moment. Nobody's really getting the nose in front. We have actually just had 2 shots. The centre-back I was telling you about, the one we've got on loan, he's from free at PSG. They've actually recalled him already because I've not played him. But I've only had him for a few weeks. But he's been recalled, so we're a centre-back light. And the other quite worrying news is that the young kid who I'm trying to blood this season at right wing back, Ham, is out for 4 to 5 months. So that's quite bad news, really. So Moreno is really my only right wing back. I mean, I have got other players who can play there, but it's not ideal because it's not there. Yes! Scarlata, lovely header. Yeah, it's not exactly their preferred position. But I have been allowed, I don't know how this works, I've got to look into it yet because it's only just happened. I have been allowed to go out and sign another player. I'm not sure whether that's European rules or league rules. I do need to look into that. But I can go out and sign a new player. Obviously, I've got money in the bank now. I mean, I may just go out and get a loan player. I'm not too sure yet. We'll have to wait and see. But we are winning this game 1-0. Very, very nice header there from Scarlata. I find in games at the moment, you need to get 2 or 3 goals ahead. Carranza breaks the net with that one. What a beautiful goal from Carranza. Absolutely went in like a bullet. I mean, that bears watching again. Lovely ball from Moreno here. Into Bongatue, and Carranza absolutely breaks the net with the goalkeeper coming out at him. 2-0. And I was just about to say, what I'm finding at the moment is you do need to get 2 or 3 goals ahead in FM at the moment, because otherwise the AI will just switch the game like that. And Monaco time, you know, it's Nice very nearly did it to us in the last game. And here we go, there is Troyes coming forward. That one's been weirdly played out when he could have played a ball to his shirt, but so Troyes with the throw, 2-0 down, just coming up to half time. Can we hang on? And a nice save that from Ibrahim. Was that a nice save? He's just made his debut for Australia. So that's quite nice. Carranza played for Mexico as well. So building up a nice contingent of international players, which obviously does their morale no end of good. So we're going to give him a nice little pat on the back. You're doing brilliantly. Keep it up. And we're going into the second half. And I think rather than going defensive, I'm actually going to step it up to positive and just try and confound the AI a little bit. No, we're not going to play cautiously. We're not going to time waste. We're actually going to attack more. We're winning 2-0. So can you deal with that? And at the moment, we seem to be doing all right. There's no highlights, which is fine by me. Absolutely fine. XG of 1.13, 1.25 now. 13 shots, 5 on target. We have got a lot of the momentum in the game, looking at the graph there. But Troyes have a highlight. They're coming forward. They found a player there in the penalty area, and he's just going to slide that in the back of the net. And it's 2-1, and the same thing is happening again. So can we hold on to this now? 10 minutes left, 3 subs all across the back. So Bandecci, Diogo and Magabane have all come on in defence just to try and keep us a little bit tight if possible. We need to hold on to this 2-1 lead now. We were very, very comfortable in this game, and it is going to end 2-1. So again, another valuable 3 points. And that seems to be a little bit of an uplift in the league. We've now got 6 points out of the last 2 games, and that's a better run than we've had this season. So that's quite nice to see. And we're just going to give the lads, well, we've been getting that an awful lot, so you don't get too many options there. And what we've had very recently, in fact in most league games, is the you didn't play very well, but it's always good to get the result when you've not played well. I don't think we've had a league game this season where I've been able to say you were amazing, big pat on the back. Don't think we've had one of those. So obviously the AI is looking at the game in, well, a different light than I would like it to have looked at. But anyway, we've got the 6 points, and let's move on. We've now got the Champions League. So it's all got very exotic here at RCLENS. I'm off to Croatia now. I can't stand waffling too long with you, so because I've got to get on the plane and need to do a little bit of work with the lads. Need to do a little bit of work when we get there. So again, not too much waffling. We'll see you in the dugout in Croatia. Well, welcome to Zagreb in this third game in the Champions League stage. Another win in this one. would give us another 2.4 million, which is really important, and also would be 3 wins on the bounce. We have got some really tough games coming up, so I think this is probably one of the... They're a 3.5 star team, we're 4, we're away from home, so we should shade it, but football, we all know football, don't we? A nice win in this one again, because I don't think we're going to get too many more wins. Nice win in this one would give us 9 points, which would be really nice. Anyway, we've got an unchanged team, so it's as you were. Ibrahim in goal, back four Heskey, Argiolas, Dordic and Marino. The midfield 3 Scarletta, Arbiola and Perone. We've got Bongatoué as the attacking midfielder behind Carranza and Carvalho up front. Let's hope Carranza can get us another goal in this game. And we're underway in Croatia here. And it's Dinamo who have the first highlight. Let's hope this doesn't end up in the back of the net. We could do with somebody nipping in here. Nice clean tackle, bring the ball away, go up the other end and stick it in the back of the net. But that's not happening as we speak. So Dinamo stick the ball in the back of the net. We're 1-0 down. And is that going to get disallowed for offside maybe? Please, referee. And it's been awarded, so we are 1-0 down. That wasn't very pleasing to the eye, was it, that? Ball into the box. We did have cover there, but he just let him run past him. Obviously, in the penalty area, you do have to be very careful. Yeah, we don't need to see it a third time. It was bad enough twice. Okay, so, you know, no great disaster there. We've got time to work ourselves into this game. But it would have been very nice to have got a win today. Not saying we're not going to do, but we do need to be doing slightly better. We have not really started. We've just had our first shot in the game. I'm just going to step it up a little bit. We're going to give them a shout of encouragement. So we are playing quite conservatively in games at the moment. We're playing with quite defensively, quite a low block. And, and a nice header from Dordic. Now, we don't get too many headers in games, and that was a lovely header to get us back on level terms. Absolutely brilliant. And as we watch this free kick coming over, that was a lovely header by Dordic. He just rose head and shoulders. I'm not used to seeing that, really. This team doesn't really score headers, particularly from corners and free kicks. Well, we go into half-time, a very creditable 1-1, 1-1 result. I'm going to say I think we've been unlucky so far. I don't think you've done anything wrong. I mean, it's not actually motivated too many of them. But anyway, let's see how the second half goes. So, I mean, Dinamo have been on top in the game. There's no doubt about it. But I wouldn't say it's a smash and grab at the moment. I mean, obviously, it's a 1-1. So, we haven't won the game by any stretch of the imagination. Can we win that ball? No, we've lost it. So Dinamo are coming away with the ball now. Can we get a foot in? Can anybody put a decisive tackle in? Win the ball back for us? They can. Bongatoué. Ball to Scarlata. He's going to feed that ball forward for Carvalho. And that was given us offside, unfortunately. Okay, a little bit of a switch. I've swapped Carranza and Carvalho over, just to see if that makes a little bit of a difference. Just work them in a little bit of different positions. I've pushed the lines forward a little bit and brought Tembayi on in midfield just for a little bit more energy. And we come back to a highlight. So Heskey throws the ball into Carranza. Carranza with a sweeping ball over to Moreno on that right-hand side. I've got high hopes for this lad on this right-hand side. He looks a really good prospect. I think we've got 2 really good wing-backs now, which is something that we've not really had. Well, the keeper there punches that ball out. Oh, Moreno, I'm just talking about you and bigging you up, lad. And you put the ball into Rose head. Well, we get the ball back again. So we do seem to be having a little bit more of the game now. Maybe pushing the lines a little bit further forward is helping. But it'd be nice to see one of those strikers put the ball in the back of the net after switching the positions. The ball is hoofed out. It's coming straight back at him again. Marino, can he make it this time? He can! Yes! Amazing stuff. And I've just been talking about how good I think Marino could be. And he puts a worldie into the top corner. And we're just watching that goal again. That was absolutely brilliant. So we've come from 1-0 down and we're now winning 2-1. And look at this. thunderbolt. I think actually it looked like it got a little bit of a deflection there, and I think the keeper was a little bit unsighted on that one, but we'll take them all. We will take them all. So we're 2-1 ahead now, going into the 70th minute. Going to stay on positive for the time being. It's really difficult knowing whether to go defensive or whether to just keep going, but Mbaye is now coming forward. Can we? No. The keeper gets there before our striker. Big hoof out of defence. Somebody should pick that ball up. We haven't done. Dinamo are now coming back at us. That is very dangerous. But it's been given as offside. Okay, still some time to go in this game, but I'm trying to hold on to this lead now. So I've made all 4 of my the rest of my subs. So Mazzone, Aurelio, Diogo and Magabane have come on in like a square in there. So I've got 2 DMs on now. Changed both my centre-backs. We're just going with 1 striker. I think we are going to drop down to cautious now, just to see if we can hold on to this 2-1 lead. And we do come back to a corner. Mbaye sends that ball in from the corner, comes straight out to one of their players, and now they're on the break. The changes actually haven't been made yet. So if they score from this, I'm going to look a little bit... red-faced. 2-2. I think we will... I mean, a 2-2 draw is not a bad result. I think we will just go ahead with the changes. 2-2 draw. I mean, money-wise, it's not great, but a 2-2 in Zagreb, not a bad result if I'm honest. Little bit gutted there. That I mean, to be fair, that goal went in before the tactical changes. So maybe if the tactical changes had gone through a little bit earlier, we might have held on for a 2-1 win. That is a bit of a shame. So not a bad little result there in the Champions League. I mean, we've had 3 games now, 2 wins and a draw. The draw was away from home, so no disgrace there. And we scored a couple of nice goals as well. It's a shame we couldn't keep the ball out of the net for their second goal. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the leagues now and see where we're standing. So look at the Champions League first. So we're a very creditable 8th position at the moment. Don't think it's going to stay like that because we've got some very tough games coming up. But we've played 3, got 7 points. You know, we're in quite good company around there, aren't we? Real Madrid are below us. Manchester City are below us. Barcelona are a bit below us. Where are Chelsea? Chelsea, I mean, I'm looking at the Chelsea game as a lost 3 points. They've played 3 games, only got 4 points up to now. So Benfica even. Maybe we have got more of a chance than I'm giving us credit for. But anyway, we're in 8th position, 7 points. It's going quite well, I think. And looking at the league now, so we've all played 10 games. PSG are on top, but they've actually lost a game now, bizarrely. So they've only got 27 points. When I say only, obviously they've got more points than we have. But they're on 27. Rennes are in 2nd place on 24. I mean, looking at that, can Rennes give them a run for the money this season? We're in 4th place, just behind Monaco. And we've got 20 points. So in our last 5 games, 3 wins, a draw and a loss. We do need to start picking it up a little bit just to try and keep this European dream going. I mean, to be fair, we're in the Champions League. I think the Champions League is still a little bit too good for us. So even if we've got Europa or even Conference League, I mean, Conference League, could we go and win that? Maybe, I don't know. And it would be a trophy in the cabinet, which at the moment, our trophy cabinet, let me tell you, is looking very bare. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I think it's been a really good episode today. It's been a lot to talk about, comings and goings. The finances are looking so much better. It's amazing what the Champions League does for you. You know, the moment we've gained, we only got 801,000 for that draw. So that's a little bit disappointing. But at the moment, we've had about 18 million, I think, out of the Champions League, which, let's face it, last season we didn't. And of course, selling Cavalan, that was very, very big. But we do need to go back into the transfer market now. Apparently, we're allowed to sign a replacement for Ham, and the centre-back has gone back to PSG. There is a thing in France called the Joker transfer window, where you're allowed to sign one player from another French club. Now, maybe that's an option for me to replace that centre-back. I don't know. I'm going to have to go away, do a bit of head-scratching and see how all that sits. But overall, quite a nice little episode. Couple of league wins, a draw in the Champions League. I mean, it's got a nice ring to it, that, hasn't it? 2 wins in the league and a draw in the Champions League. Let's hope we can build on that. Anyway, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please give me a like. If you're new around here, please spread the word, tell your friends, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff, because it helps the channel, and the channel is growing. Quite a few new subscribers over the last few days, and I'm working on my social medias and trying to get the word out there, and it seems to be all working. So anyway, as per usual, if you like your Football Manager played the Gobby Gaffer way, then why not come back for the next episode and see where we're up to, because I'm going to go and play quite a few games off camera now, and by the time you come back, hopefully we'll have maintained that position in the league and we'll have got a few more wins under our belt in the Champions League. Can we do it? Well, you'll need to come back and have a look, won't you? We'll see you next time.